how to replace a wax ring for a toilet. Shut off the water supply valve to the toilet tank. Empty the toilet tank by lifting up the flusher handle and hold it, lift it up until mostly all of the water goes down. Still some water left over. I'm gonna try and push this through the trap. The more water you get out of this, the better. I'm gonna get a little more water out of this. Shop vac would probably be the way to go. Remove the toilet caps. Remove the screws from the toilet. You can use a pair of pliers, you can use a wrench. Sometimes on older toilets, the whole screw will spin. This one is good, but if that happens, this tool right here is a lifesaver. It's called the jam bar, and it can lock the bolt so you can turn the nut, but we don't need it this time, luckily. Installing metal bolts and a metal washer straight to the porcelain, not recommended. Remove the tank supply hose from the fill valve. Now I'm just gonna lift the toilet straight up. I'm not gonna grab from the tank at all. I wanna grab from right here in the middle. And if you have to, you can just rock it back and forth. Just keep in mind the water in the trap is going to move around, so it may get loose and you may spill some water. We can see right here, this wax ring was never set correctly. It never made a seal. This right here, untouched. So what's happening, you can see water inside of there. When the toilet flushed, there just a little bit was getting through, going downstairs. Although nothing was evident, everything was happening in here because the wax ring was not seated properly. I'm gonna clean this up the best I can, but first I'm gonna remove this old wax ring. I've got that cleaned up. Remove the plastic barrier from the wax ring. Set the wax ring in the hole. Now the last wax ring did not get smushed down. The washers were bending, so there was plenty of torque applied to the bolts. I'm probably gonna get some crap for this, but I'm gonna double up on wax rings. That way I know it's gonna seal and I know it's not gonna leak. This is not my first time doing this. I've done this in the past and have not had any callbacks in this building anyways. Both screws are through the toilet holes. I've got my toilet set where I want it. It's not crooked. I'm just gonna sit on it and let it evenly push down on that wax ring. Maybe move back and forth a little bit. I'm gonna install new washers, this plastic piece, and a new nut. I don't like metal on porcelain. That's why I do it this way. Use great care when tightening down bolts to porcelain. You don't want to over tighten and crack the tank, which I've done in my early years. Hook back up the water supply line. Your water on. Put your caps back on. I forgot to add before you give it a test flush, put a good amount of force on it just to make sure the tank isn't rocking back and forth. Let's check for leaks when we flush it. Hope that helps some of you all out. Keep in mind, I am not a professional plumber. I am not a diehard do-it-yourselfer. I am an apartment maintenance technician that has been fixing stuff for 20 years. This is how I do it. This has always worked for me. If you like this kind of content, give me a follow. But until the next fix, I'm Dave. Hope to see you there.